Let's check in with the leader of the free world, who is blaming everything and everyone for his administration's many failures, including the US's energy crisis. Remember, the US was a net energy exporter under President Trump, but under Joe Biden, who in his first day in office cancelled the permit for the Keystone Pipeline, well, there's an energy crisis. Biden loves to blame external factors beyond his control for this self-inflicted mayhem. But what is happening is precisely what he said would happen during the 2020 presidential campaign. He promised to slash emissions and kill fossil fuel projects.
Would there be any place for fossil fuels, including coal and fracking, in a Biden administration?
No, we would work it out. We would make sure it's eliminated.
No more drilling on federal lands. No more drilling, including offshore. No ability for the oil industry to continue to drill, period.
I guarantee you, we're going to end fossil fuel.
What about, say, stopping fracking and stopping new pipeline infrastructure? And
No new fracking.
We are going to get rid of fossil fuels.
I've argued against any more oil drilling or gas drilling on federal lands.
No one's going to build a coal-fired plant again, and we're going to get rid of the ones we have now.
Have a transition from the oil industry, yes.
Would you be willing to sacrifice some of that growth, even knowing potentially that it could displace thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of blue-collar workers in the interest of transitioning to that greener economy?
The answer is yes.
Well, elections have consequences, as do mad green policies, something Australia is going to find out. But back to President Biden, who this week was blaming what he calls the Putin tax for soaring gas and food prices.
I understand Americans are anxious, and they're anxious for good reason. I was raised in a household when the price of gasoline rose precipitously. It was the discussion at the table. It made a difference when food prices went up. But we've never seen anything like Putin's tax on both food and gas.
At least he was lucid there when he was lying through. But you can't say that about his performance on the Jimmy Kimmel show, which started badly and got worse. Here is Biden indulging in some mask theatre by wearing a mask when he's all by himself and then taking it off when he approaches the host. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Biden then went on some bizarre rant about biracial couples on TV and bragged that his administration had done a lot of great stuff. They're just bad at communication.
Oh, I'm serious. You turn on the TV, look at the ads. When's the last time you saw biracial couples on TV? When's the last time you saw the way, people are selling products, they do ads to sell products.
Does he think it's 1965? Maybe he seriously does think it's 1965, because these days ads are full of biracial families. But when he wasn't making a fool of himself on late night TV, Biden was indulging in reckless rhetoric. This is what he said about his political opponents just days after a Supreme Court justice appointed by President Trump had an attempt on his life.
Every once in a while, something you learn makes you viscerally angry. Like if you had the person in front of you, you'd want to pop them. No, I really mean it.
Don't you just love the unity that he's brought, the prosperity that he's brought? That's what happens when you order a president through the mail.